everyone, my name is Brittany and welcome back to my channel. And today I'll be reading a few books for a weekly reading vlog.
It's Brittany, bitch.
So the Spring Equinox Magical Readathon has commenced and I have a few books I have to read. I think I have 7 and 3 of them I really don't know how to fit into a reading vlog. So I figured I would just make a weekly reading vlog and just read all 3 of them. So I'll be reading The Death of Vivek OG. I also have this on audiobook and it's not a particularly long book, but it is literary fiction. So it didn't really fit with any other prompts of my books. So it's kind of on its own, which is why it's in this reading vlog. As far as I know, Vivek OG shows up dead on his mother's doorstep and we kind of go back in time to see his life. And it's literary fiction. That's all I really know. I know it contains a little bit of romance, so it fits the prompt for this. And if you're interested in learning about the prompts, go check out my TBR, which I will link above and below. And then I'll also be reading A Storm of Swords, which is the 3rd book in the Song of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin. And this is a very long book. It's a very big book. And I also have this on audio as well as on ebook. So this one is a high fantasy and it didn't really fit anything either. So it just kind of worked out that I'd probably just put in this reading vlog and then read it whenever I have time, because it would definitely take me all week. I think it's a 30+ hour audiobook, so it's kind of long. And then the other book I'll be starting is Parasite by Mira Grant, and this is kind of a horror novel about parasites. I had this on audio as well as ebook, and I started the audio today at work and I got about 30% of the way into it and I'm really enjoying it. I just don't know why this book is this long. The audiobook is 15 hours. I think it's 15 hours. It's pretty long for a book that doesn't seem that long. And for the subject matter, I'm a little wondering why it's this long. But basically we're following our main character Sally, who was in a coma from an accident, and then this parasite in her gut saved her. They implant these parasites into your intestines and it is symbiotic with your body and helps with a lot of things. And then on top of that, she kind of has to get checked out every 6 months from the company that creates these worms or whatever, and something's happening. People are getting this sleepwalking disease where they are kind of like zombies and they do bad things, and we don't really know much else other than that. And there's been a couple of different instances, like a little girl at the mall or a bus driver who causes an accident. So we're just kind of learning about that, but I definitely wish it would pace it up a little bit. So that's my only big complaint at the moment. I'll try to get a little bit farther into this tomorrow, but so far I'm enjoying it. I just really wish it would speed up the process a little bit. It's kind of getting there. There was a problem with the lab that she was just at for her 6-month checkup, and they also offered her a job helping with this weird parasite thing. So we'll see how that works out. Don't know yet. Okay, so I ended up finishing Parasite yesterday, and I'm gonna give it 1.5 stars. This did not work for me as I expected it to. I just made myself finish it yesterday on audio while I was at work, and yesterday at work, by the way, really sucked ass. So it kind of perfectly went with the book. Parasite is basically about a genetically engineered tapeworm that protects the human body, right? It can help boost the immune system, and they can even use it to administer drugs to your system. Really interesting concept. And pretty much everybody has one of these implanted in their system because of how safe they are and how good they are for you, yada, yada, yada. However, are these parasites trying to take over their hosts? Great idea, right? Definitely one of the concepts that I really personally enjoy. However, I just feel there's a lot of books that could have done this a lot better, because this book was honest to God fucking boring. And yes, it is 500 pages, so it was pretty much a snooze the whole time. The plot dragged, there was 0 character development, it was 500 fucking pages. I wasn't invested whatsoever. I really could not care. And then there's a plot twist at the very end. I guessed it from 20 pages in. It was at the very, very beginning of this book. I was that's what's gonna happen. And I was really hoping I was wrong, but I was not. And sometimes I like guessing it and being correct because it's something I'm ooh, that's spicy. But this was so predictable, and I didn't care about any of the characters. So I feel it was a very similar story I've seen before, but it was not told in a way that I enjoyed. And if I compared it to another book, you would know exactly what happens. I don't know. It just didn't work for me, and I'm really upset about it because I actually really like Mira Grant, who is, I don't know if it's pronounced Shannon McGuire's name, because I always heard Shannon, but I heard it's Sheenan or something. I don't know. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. I enjoy their writing. I love, by the way, how she always includes gay or queer or people of color in her books, and she doesn't like make it a thing or like kill them off. Like, I love that she can just include that in her stories. It's not part of like the plot. They're just people who are involved, right? I enjoy that. The rest of this book I just didn't enjoy. And you know, like our main character Sally, she is like incredibly afraid of cars and driving because she was in a car accident, which is when she had like her parasite basically saved her life. And so she's terrified of driving, but yet she cannot remember the fucking accident. So why are you still terrified of driving or somebody else driving if you don't even remember the accident? You don't remember anything about your life before the accident anyway. You don't remember the accident at all. You wouldn't really naturally have a fear of driving if you didn't know that. So I don't know. I just feel like that part didn't really make sense. And then she keeps constantly like hearing these drums in her mind and this dark, warm, wet place. I don't know. It's just really fucking annoying. It was really repetitive in some parts. It was really annoying. I didn't enjoy the character development. I didn't like any of the characters. I didn't even really like where the plot was going. And I just feel like everybody was so bland. I just feel like this was such like a weirdly bland book for such an interesting concept, if that makes any sense. Also, this book took until like the 50% mark to even get somewhat like interesting. So I don't know, if you want something about parasites, I like low-key might skip it and try something else because this just did not do it for me. So I think it's gonna get rounded up to 2 stars and that's it. Now on to an excellent novel, which is The Death of Vivek Oji. So I actually finished this today on audio, and I knew I'd probably be able to finish it in a day, which is what I was hoping. This book, I will literally cry right now. I just finished it like 20 minutes ago. I'm literally gonna cry. Like the last fucking chapter is so good. It's only gonna get 4 stars though, but I'll explain that in a minute. But like, this book is definitely worth your time. Like, this is totally worth your time. So obviously we know Vivek Oji shows up dead on his mother's doorstep. He's like wrapped in this like colorful dress and he's dead. And we're kind of going back in time to find out like what happened to him. And it's really more about the family, the friends versus him, which is probably my biggest issue with the book, is I really wanted more from his perspective to see his own like self-reflection and how he actually felt versus what other people saw of him and thought of him. But I was still very connected to this character. The last chapter literally broke me. Like,
I can't even talk about it.
this book is really beautiful. Honestly, this book is worth your time. But like, I really didn't like how it was focused on his family too much. I just really wanted to see more from him. There definitely were some relationships I feel like could be left out of this that I didn't really need to see. But this has really beautiful queer representation, great transgender representation. Like, there's so many amazing things in here. There's a lot of actually really good sex scenes in this novel that are not only like intimate and beautiful, but like sexy. And I really enjoyed that. And a little forbidden. And it just kind of worked for me. I also will go check out my spoiler if you want to see it on my Goodreads about something I didn't like about the book, but is a spoiler. In my opinion, like, I had no idea, nobody told me about it. I'm treating it as a spoiler, but like, I didn't really enjoy that aspect. Kind of ruined it a little bit for me in some parts. So this book's gonna like 4.25 stars. It's really excellent. This book can definitely be studied for hundreds of years. Like, I can definitely see this like ending up like my kid going to school and bringing this home for a project. Like, that's 100% like what I see happening, because this book is just so good. And this author is amazing, and I'll definitely be reading more of their work because I'm gonna go to the gym now and somehow keep it together. And wow, this book was just marvelous. Okay, I think I've got myself together enough for you, but basically now I'm going to move on to A Storm of Swords, and that is the last book for this reading vlog, so that will probably take me to next week because this is a weekly reading vlog. So I'm trying to actually go within a weekly timeline, and I'm going to try and finish it. I think I have like 4 or 5 days left till the next week, so that's what I will be doing, especially since I have the audiobook. Hopefully I can finish this very long book in a much shorter time frame, but we will see. I do have it on ebook as well, so I'll be reading that at night, and then during the day I'll try to listen to an audiobook, so we'll see how far I can get, and hopefully no more fucking tears.
Get me there to live and shout it loud every single time. Would it be lonely to live above the bright blue sky? As I gaze you, I let the light shine on me.
So today is exactly 1 week from the day that I started this reading vlog. And so I decided that I'm going to end it here because I'm only 30% of the way into A Storm of Swords, and I'm definitely not going to finish it today. I may not finish it this week. It is a 48-hour audiobook, and I forgot about that. And also the book itself is like 1,200 fucking pages. So I'm only 30% of the way in, and even if I listen to it for the next 3 days at work, I still probably will not finish it. So I'm just going to end this here. And also, this book is a third in a series, so technically I can't really tell you much anyway. What's gonna happen is by the time that I'm finishing this, I will release the reading vlog and then you can see my Goodreads review. So if you're ever curious about what I actually think about the book, you can go visit Goodreads. I'm sure it's gonna be a 4 or 5. I mean, honestly, I've given all his books 5 stars by now, but we'll see. It's also 1,200 pages, so it's a very long, big boy. I just feel like ending it here is a lot easier because I can't really tell you much about it. But also, I forgot to tell you that, of course, I said no tears, but this book has the red wedding. So I'm not sure if that rule is still gonna stay in place. And also, I still fucking hate Bran. I don't know what it is about his point of view. He just annoys me. I don't even really like Jon or Samwell's either. Like, I'm just not really interested in that side of like the world. I'm much more interested in like Sansa, Tyrion, like me. They're probably my favorite. Sansa and Tyrion are probably my favorite ones. I also really enjoy Catelyn's point of view. So anyway, those are my faves and those are my least faves. Bran can suck my ass in the show and the book. Just not a fan. But anywho, thank you so much for enjoying this reading vlog. I haven't done a weekly reading vlog in a really long time, and so actually being time constrained was not very much fun, and I obviously don't read a lot on the weekend, so that's why I didn't get very far into the last book. But it's okay, you can see my Goodreads review when this video comes out. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys all at a much different time. Peace out!